Cut it.
Hello and welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. Today we have got a really special show for you because we're going to be sharing a video. Well, you're not going to see the video obviously because this is a podcast.
Obviously.
But we're going to be sharing the audio from a video that me and Brian made for YouTube, for our YouTube channel actually, a couple of weeks ago.
Where was that, Liz?
What do you mean?
Where was the place?
Oh, I don't know. Where were we?
Tarata.
Who am I? Tarata, that was it. We went on location. We found this beautiful domain in the middle of the Wop Wops of New Zealand. Wop Wops in New Zealand, Kiwi slang, it means out in the middle of nowhere.
Outback.
Yeah. And we found this beautiful place and we're like, oh, we should just sit down and record a podcast for our It's a Drama YouTube channel. In case you haven't visited that, we do bi-weekly. Is it called bi-weekly when you do it every other week?
Every other week, yeah.
Every other week, yeah. We do a video, usually from New Zealand, where we just chat about life in New Zealand. If you haven't visited that, go over to YouTube and check out It's a Drama. It was such a good episode that we just thought we're going to share it with you, our audience here on NZ Ahead. So yeah, that's it, Bri, isn't it?
Yes, I hope you'll enjoy it. And because it's so involved with the New Zealand stuff, this is why we wanted to put it on. So if you are thinking of moving to New Zealand, we do mention this in the show as well, but jump on over to our 5-day video guide, which will give you 5 days of brilliant little videos and clips and stuff. And then you get the opportunity to jump on in, join our membership. We'll meet a whole bunch of people from all over the world doing the same thing as you or dreaming of what you're doing. Some people are moving in 2 years. Some people are actually moving literally in the next few days. And then there's some people who have been living here for the last 2 years plus.
You can get to those free videos by going to www.nzahead.com/free. And you can get those videos absolutely free. And before we just jump in and share our little on-location podcast with you, don't forget that if you get any value at all from this podcast, if you enjoy listening to us every week, go down to leave us a review and just leave us a review. Because don't ask me why, I have no idea how this works, but when you get more reviews, the gods that be show your podcast to more people, don't they, Bri?
They do. So, like Liz said, if you're on Spotify or any platforms like that, just jump on into the show, scroll to the bottom normally, and there you'll find that you can leave a review for us. Obviously, it's got to be a 5-star review.
Well,
it's not
it
worth
can be
doing
anything
otherwise,
they want,
is it?
really, Bri. But
well,
yeah,
it can, but
we do prefer higher reviews, don't we, Bri?
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing worse than getting a 2-star review. Why? But then they say they still left it.
Shush, we're jumping in now. We're going to jump into the show. So, see, this is why we don't share this kind of stuff with you, because Bri just goes off on a tangent. So, sit back and enjoy just an old-fashioned Liz and Bri podcast about the common misconceptions that people have about New Zealand.
Cut it.
Welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. Everything you need to know about moving to and living in New Zealand.
There's a whole world here.
So nice to be with you again.
We call it Aotearoa around here, bro.
You'll be right.
We are your hosts, Liz and Brian.
Amazing New Zealand in the southern seas.
See, that's where I belong. That's home.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we bring you this episode on location in Taranaki. We are in the most beautiful domain that we found. We went for a drive last week and we came upon this place. It's called Tarata Domain. So the whole area, I think, this is Tarata Road, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There's like a welcome to, how would you pronounce it? Tarata.
Tarata, yeah. We hope we're pronouncing it right, Taratians. We hope we've got it right for you and we've done it justice. But isn't it just divine? Hey, and we saw this bench and the river and we were like, oh, let's just do a podcast. Let's just go on location and do a podcast from there.
So hopefully you can hear the river in the background. There's a few little rapids down here.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Lovely.
There's little sheep around. They've just had lambs. They had lambs a couple of weeks ago. And there's a hut where people, this was obviously a big playing field or just where the community would come.
It's like a changing room, toilet thing, isn't it? Yeah.
It just feels like you're in the middle of nowhere, but literally it's about 20 minutes from Inglewood, which is about 15 minutes outside New Plymouth in Taranaki.
Yeah. We're in the Wop Wops, as they call it.
Yeah, we're doing it right.
The Wop Wops, you can see them all in the background. Yeah, the Wop Wops.
Yeah, look at us. Anyway, what we thought we'd talk to you about today. How have you been? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, we are Liz and Brian, husband and wife. We moved to New Zealand in 2009 from the UK.
Yes.
And we talk all about living in New Zealand, moving to New Zealand, just life in New Zealand, and just general stuff, travel, life, just sit here and just chat with you.
Yeah. And it's spring in New Zealand.
It is, yeah. Absolutely beautiful. So what we wanted to talk to you about today, this is how this happened. The other day, I was on the phone to someone having a conversation, and they'd never been to New Zealand and they didn't know anything about New Zealand. And she asked me a couple of questions. And I, at first, when she said it, I was like, is this a joke? Like, are you for real? And that's no disrespect, because 12 years ago, whenever we moved to New Zealand, before we moved to New Zealand, hands up, I didn't know anything about the country.
We had to buy books. And that's where you could really, the internet was there back then, but it was like we bought like a travel book, and then, the Kiwi culture book and all those sort of things. But... So
I don't want to be like, why don't you even know that about New Zealand? Because, like I say, why would you know that about New Zealand unless you were particularly educated and well informed like us?
Most people don't even know where New Zealand is.
No. So what we thought would be a fun thing to do today, right? Down at Tarata Domain with you, we thought, let's go through 7 misconceptions that people have about New Zealand that just aren't true. Are they, Brian?
No, not even remotely true.
No.
But you can see why they would think.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be like why do you think that, you idiot?
Yeah.
Because you don't even know that.
No.
But no, this isn't about that. This isn't about shaming of people. It's just about, we just want to try and educate you, basically, and just say New Zealand isn't actually part of Australia. Anyway, So number 1, sorry, darling, sorry, just scratched you. So number 1 misconception about New Zealand is that New Zealand is part of Australia.
I know, because that's the thing, isn't it? You think it's the South Pacific, and there's only like Tasmania, and the mainland of Australia, and people think that Tasmania is New Zealand, really.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, because they
What,
think
the country
it's
Tasmania?
Yeah, even though like Tasmania is part of Australia.
Yeah.
It's like, see, I'm confusing you now, aren't I?
I'm not. I hope that didn't come out on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Tasmania the country. Yes, that's it. You heard it first.
Move on, Brian,
It's a
move
drama.
on. You know. This is about New Zealand.
Should we start again, Liz?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be like, because I didn't know my facts until I moved here. So this lady said to me, she said, so New Zealand is part of Australia, right? And I was like, and do you know what? It was so embarrassing. And I've said this before. You know, when Americans talk, they say it with such authority. Americans out there listening, your accent makes you sound like you know everything. Like the British though, Bri, they sort of go,
as in, yes.
But the way she said it, she said, so New Zealand is part of Australia, right? And that's how she said it to me. And I thought, oh, is it?
It's the other way around.
No, is it? And then I had to remember, that I am actually 52 and quite, know what I'm talking about, because I've lived in New Zealand for 14 years. But yeah, that's what she thought.
It's like you say, said with authority, and it's like, back me up on this.
I
It's
know.
like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that, well, I won't go into that. We'll talk about that on a different podcast. But it's true, isn't it? When someone says something with such authority, it makes you question it. Like if I said to you now,
I need to look that up on the internet, just like you need to.
If I said to you now, Brian, it's the summer. It's the summer, right?
Look at it, it's a summer's day.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You'd think twice, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course you would.
So
yeah.
Anyway, that's what apparently people think, that New Zealand is part of Australia. And so we did some facts. We did some looking up, didn't we, Brian?
Yes.
And there's lots of things out there that say, like how you can compare how far away New Zealand is to Australia. But here's one we want to use. And this was actually a comment on YouTube. And I'm sorry, because the person who commented didn't have a proper name. When they comment on YouTube and it's like
3216.
Yeah, so I can't even say thank you, but I can. But, we don't know your name. But you said, when you compare how far New Zealand is from Australia, it's the same as Ireland
Yes.
is to Iceland.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's so for Europeans out there, it's like you've got Ireland, obviously it's an island off the coast of the UK. And the distance, because everyone goes, oh, well, how far is Australia from New Zealand? And Iceland is further.
From Ireland?
Yeah, than what?
Iceland.
Sorry, Australia is further away than what Iceland is to Ireland.
Yeah.
There we
you
go.
sure there, Brian?
Than what it is
Are you
to
sure?
New Zealand.
Do you have that right?
Have we got the facts there? Because it's quite we're confusing ourselves here. It's not hard to confuse us.
No, but that's true. So if you're thinking, it's so close,
Yeah.
It's further away. Ireland to Iceland is further away. And who would have thought that? Because Iceland, to me, when I think of Iceland, I think it's in like the middle of the Iceland land.
It's in the middle of the Iceland
Yeah, but it's
land.
just floating in ice. Miles and
it's
miles
just
from
floating
from
in the
rest
North
of world.
Atlantic.
Exactly. You know, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Australia is further away than that.
Yeah, well, I remember the fishing wars back in the 1970s within the UK and Iceland, and it was like they almost like were starting to put guns on the front of the
On the
fishing
icebergs?
boats, on the fishing boats.
Really?
Yeah, it was like getting
Really?
quite bad, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, we're not that close to Australia. I'm talking in distance, like relationship-wise. See, that's another misconception as well. We should have said that.
Yeah.
They think that the New Zealanders and Aussies like all hate each other, but they're like brother and sister. You know, they're like brothers.
Yeah, we've talked about it umpteen times. You know, there's the sporting
banter
stuff.
going on.
It's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But realistically, when the shit hits the fan, everyone joins in together.
So no, New Zealand and Australia are not joined. Right, number 2.
Yeah.
I like this one, Bri. I reckon the reason she said this to me is because she's been watching our channel, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, misconception about New Zealand.
Yes.
All New Zealanders lead provincial lives
Right.
with no luxuries. So,
So when we say provincial, we mean that
We
lives
live
in
in
the middle of nowhere sort of thing,
Yeah.
or in the provinces.
like farmery sort of thing,
Yes,
you know, like
yes, yeah,
provincial, like, you
yeah.
know,
Don't
just
live in big
making
cities.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they think that because now obviously we're on YouTube and everyone knows about
Yeah.
Liz and Brian.
Well, look
they
at where we
see
live.
Well, that's what I mean. They might think it's all like this, you know.
It is. This is just the whole of New Zealand. There's no
Yeah.
cities, no nothing.
But again, I can understand how you would think that.
Yeah.
You know, you get an image of New Zealand in your mind you know.
Yeah.
And everywhere is like this. And obviously, you know that there's Auckland and Wellington and the cities and Christchurch and things like that. But
Yeah, but I suppose it comes back to, you know, people have seen The Lord of the Rings, you know, and most of it was filmed down in the South Island for those big sort of mountain shots and everything like that. And, you know, it's like, how far can you pull back on a camera and still see no sign of people?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
no sign
yeah.
of man as such, you know?
But I don't think it's so much that they think the countryside is provincial. I think that
Right.
they think the people.
Everybody lives like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
we're all farmers.
You've got a tractor sitting in the front in your driveway.
Yeah, yeah. Have
Yeah.
we got a tractor?
No.
We've got a little
Well, we
tractor.
have. It's called a Skoda.
No, we've got our quite. Yeah.
Skoda tractor.
Right. So, and I'm going to come back to that because this keeps coming up. This backwardy sort of farmery, you know, like everyone's a little bit. Anyway, we'll come back to that because that does come up in one of the other facts.
Yeah.
But number 3, misconception about New Zealand is that it's always sunny. God, I can't see you because the sun's in my eyes, but
there we go.
yeah, it's always sunny in New Zealand. No, it's not true.
Every time we do a video, we do it on a sunny day, and we do lots of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. If you're looking at our channel and thinking it's always sunny, and lots of people have said that to us, you know, Bri.
Yes.
They're like, is it always sunny in New Plymouth? Because whenever we see your videos, it's really sunny.
Yeah.
But just to be clear, it is sunny a lot in New Plymouth. It is sunny.
Do you know
isn't
what?
it?
I think in 2022, it was classed through, I think it's NIWA, N-I-W-A, I think that's right. Because loads of people say, oh no,
Come on,
our
just
place
get it
is
off the top of your head.
It
Stop
was
trying to
the
rely on
sunniest
facts.
place in 2023.
Right.
By
Yeah,
many
exactly. Yeah.
hours as well, like,
Yeah.
you know, and they proved it that it was.
And
you
we've
know?
talked about this before, where people in New Zealand, they've got this thing where they've got this like, what's it called when you like defend something fiercely? And it's like, no, our city's the one with the most sunshine. Nelson's the one with the most sunshine hours. Like, you know, Hawke's Bay or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just like,
that's it. No, Nelson is.
yeah.
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
New Plymouth is up there for saying, no, we've got the sunniest.
Yes.
But-
Last year, anyway. You know.
But in saying that, again, I can understand because when my sister moved to New Zealand, she moved to Gisborne 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about New Zealand. And I remember thinking to myself, I bet just everyone's just on the beach all day, walking around, just wearing, you know, nothing, naked.
Just wearing flip-flops.
Yeah, you know,
and rugby shorts.
jandals and just like it's boiling hot, you know. And I remember thinking when we even talked about New Zealand, I said, oh no, I wouldn't be able to go to a country that is boiling hot all the time. So it has got that misconception that it's constantly
Constantly
hot.
sunny. As you can see, the sun has gone behind the cloud again.
And do you know what I don't understand, Bri?
What?
With it being so close to Australia, like it's very close to Australia, we're just an island off Australia,
Yes.
remember?
Yeah.
But why is Australia boiling hot?
Well, because when you think...
And we
the
don't get that massively good hot weather like they get.
Because the south of Australia, I think it's Melbourne, is pretty in line with like New Plymouth and Auckland, sort of as you come across, like, you know. So everything really is north of that. So the further north you go, because you're in the southern hemisphere, it gets hotter.
Yeah.
So you get up to the likes of Darwin and stuff, and it's.
I don't
almost
understand.
like
So why are we not
desert-like.
hot?
Well, because the further you go to the equator, it gets hotter.
Oh, right.
And the landmass as well makes it extremely hot in the
See,
summer.
that's the other thing, isn't it? When people say, and again, misconception, but I hand up, but when people say, when you look on a map, you'd see Australia and it looks really close to New Zealand, doesn't
Yes,
it? It
yes.
looks like literally really close.
Yep.
So everyone knows Australia is surfing and sunny and just boiling hot and everyone lives outdoors and barbecues. And so you tend to think New Zealand is the same.
You do, yes, because you know people say, "Oh, it's a similar accent," and yes, first off,
Oh, right, don't get me started
No,
on
but
that.
if you listen to it, people that don't know a Kiwi accent would actually think it's Australian. And so many people say, "Oh, whereabouts in Australia you're from?" This is when you're back in like the UK, and they almost look
Is that
at
what
you.
they've said to you, Bri? Whereabouts in Australia you from?
I'm talking about Kiwis, Liz.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, you are a Kiwi.
Yeah. So, and you can see the disgust in their face.
What?
Well, because like I'm from New Zealand, I'm not from Australia. It's a bit like the Canadian
Oh, yeah.
American thing, isn't it? You know?
Sorry, Americans, if we've ever
Yeah.
said, oh, whereabouts in Canada? No, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Americans don't mind being classed as Canadians,
Well,
but Canadian, well, no, they don't, because the Canadians, Brian, they've
Yeah.
got a lovely accent, you know.
Yeah, and they've got a better sense of humour sometimes.
Well, I don't know if I'd
I
go
think
that
they have.
far.
They understand the British sense of humour maybe because there's that Commonwealth thing, like, you know.
So do you reckon that's the same, like New Zealanders to Australians, or like Kiwi, like Americans to Canadians? Do you think it's the same
yeah,
sort of
maybe it could be
thing?
because the Canadians get quite upset if you say, "Oh, whereabouts in the states are you from?" They go, "I'm from Canada."
I know, it's
You know?
embarrassing when you
Yeah,
do that, isn't it? I
yeah,
hate it.
yeah.
You get so embarrassed. But anyway, so what we were talking about, oh yeah, the weather. And the other thing that they think as well is that the North Island is the hotter island. In fact, some people don't even know there's two islands.
The other way around this.
What?
People think the South Island is the hotter island.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
It's confusing. Being born in the Northern Hemisphere, naturally, anything south of where you were born from
Yeah.
was hotter.
Yeah.
You know? And so people go, "Oh, the two islands," like, you know, and they go, "Yeah, the South Island," and you say that's the coldest. They go, "Well, how's that then?"
Yeah. It
It's
is
like,
confusing though,
yeah,
isn't it,
because
Brian?
it's closer to Antarctica. You know?
That's right. There
Yeah,
you go.
there you go.
So there you go for
See?
that little bit of
So now Liz
information.
can understand that.
No, but you know, in England, you'd always say, "Oh, I want a house with a north-facing view. Oh, it has to be, that room has to be north-facing because." Sorry, the other way around, isn't it,
Yeah.
Bryce?
It's so
See,
confusing.
I'm a Kiwi now.
Misconceptions. Yeah,
I'm a Kiwi,
yeah,
Bryce. So
yeah.
that's why I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's to me, north is warm.
Yeah,
But in England, north is cold. So that's what
Yes,
I'm saying.
that's right.
And is it the same in US? The north is the cold.
Yeah, because they're Northern Hemisphere, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, north facing
I do
won't
not
get
strong on
a
me
north
today.
facing house won't get any sun.
No, that's
Yes.
right.
But
You know what it is?
down here, it's the other way around.
I'm not thinking about this podcast. I'm looking at those little lambs over there because they're literally they're skipping behind their mum, and I'm looking and my mind is wandering. So
Yeah. Now the thing is, we are facing. We're kind of facing northwest at the moment because it's around about 3:00 in the afternoon, and the sun sort of comes up over here and goes over that way and sets in the west. Where we'd be facing south in England.
you know,
and
when
it'd
you
be the
moved
other
to
way
New
around.
Zealand, Bri,
Yes.
were you disappointed that it wasn't warm all the time?
I was kind of like confused because when I first came
Were you
here,
confused?
I was confused because
Just standing at the airport,
yes,
confused.
like just the usual.
Little bag.
Little
I'm
bag.
confused.
Where am I going? So north? Oh, that's the sun. No, it's the south.
No, but go on, carry on. Were you?
Yes. 'cause-
Bitterly disappointed.
But we turned up in the middle of winter, and it was a day like this, and we were up in Auckland, and we went north from there, and I was just thinking, why this slap bang in the middle of winter? Because it was August the 3rd or 4th
Yeah.
when we arrived.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, this is brilliant. But then when we got to Taranaki,
Miserable, wasn't it, Bri?
we had a lovely summer, and then the winter hit, and it was
Oh,
just like I was working
miserable
outside, and it was raining, and
Yeah.
it was just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
It was a lot colder than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it's not that cold in the grand scale of things. You know,
Yeah.
it very rarely drops below freezing. This has been the coldest winter I've ever remember.
It's funny because now we're here, you
In
know,
New Zealand.
now we've been here a long. Thank you for that answer,
Yeah,
Brian. Now we've been here for a long time. You know, I tend to think that we were talking about this with the kids the other day. We were saying the summers just are so much longer than they were in the UK.
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the winters are so much shorter.
Yep.
So maybe when you've been here for a while, you appreciate it for what it is, and you realise that, I mean, this is, like I say, end of winter, first, you know, beginning of spring.
Yeah, first week of spring.
And you've seen what the weather's been like throughout the winter. If you've been watching our videos regularly, it's been sunny and lovely. And so maybe that's what I'm trying to say is, although it isn't boiling hot like Australia,
Yeah, but
it's better because you get the seasons, you still get the coldness, but you still get the sunny days.
Because it's 18 degrees centigrade where we are right now, but in the sun, it feels around about 25 because the sun in New Zealand is so intense because of the ozone. And
we've talked about this loads.
we have, but it's like you've got to understand
don't
it. You know,
understand it.
it's just you have to come here and feel that intensity of the sun at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the spring.
So after you got over your confusion, then you didn't feel
Yeah.
bitterly disappointed that you weren't in Australia swanning around with your with
you know
your
what?
bikini on.
I like the seasons list.
Yeah.
You know, and I find that people that in Australia, they're never really going to see snow and they're never really going to feel cold and that frosty feeling in the morning and, you know,
I
seeing frost
know.
on the grass and things like that. Obviously, in places of Australia, you will.
You know, we came out here, I told you how we discovered it. We came out here about 2 weeks ago. So it was just coming to the end of spring and the lambs had just been born. And the magnolia trees had just come out and they were just smelling so divine, just that beautiful full smell. And there was little bits of frost in the valleys, wasn't there, where the sun hadn't been.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and it just looked gorgeous. And hand on heart, we actually said, oh, it just reminds us of England. It brought back those feelings of England, didn't it?
Well, this is like,
that-
because it's like a park, there's lots of deciduous trees, you know, lots of, like, you probably can't see it, but the one to the side here, you know, they're gorgeous trees, aren't
Yeah.
they? They've got the evergreens and the pungas in the background and stuff, but, you know, it's quite colonial the way it was set out for the farms and things. You can see where people have planted rows of trees. Come and see it. It's gorgeous.
It is,
You know? This is
yeah.
not a tourist destination where we are.
See, we're telling you all about the little secret places now.
Yep.
Right, number 4 then, and I love this one. I really love this.
Yes.
A common misconception about New Zealand is that they all dwell in bungalows along the coast.
There you go.
I know. So
Correct. But it's kind of true in a way, isn't it?
no, it's not.
Well, yeah, but that's what they say about New Zealand. I can't remember the actual. It's like, is it something like 80 kilometres or 180 kilometres? You no further than that from the sea.
Yeah, but they don't dwell in bungalows.
No, they don't. But that's the misconception,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You know, because you know it's the two kind of small islands in the grand scale of things.
Do you want to put your sunglasses on? Are you squinting?
No, it's
Are
all
you
right.
okay?
I'm all right.
It's like so bloody sunny. It's always sunny here. It just never
I
stops.
tell you what, though,
that
it's
sun,
hot,
sun,
isn't it?
sun. Yeah,
I
it's
shouldn't have
hot.
worn black, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
What was I just going to say then? So I know where this has come from. It's come from the batch. So when you
Yes.
see pictures online, if you Google New Zealand houses online or something like that, the batch, the classic Kiwi batch always comes up. How would you describe a Kiwi batch?
A Kiwi batch is a very small place, normally on the beach. That would be a weekend house, that
Yeah.
type of stuff. So,
Yeah.
and it literally bare essentials at the time when it was just built on a budget, and it was just a small piece of land, but normally a nice view or something like that.
I've actually got some facts, So batch is short for bachelor's quarters.
Right. Yeah.
Because in the 1930s depression,
Yes.
young men went away to the coast to work for government infrastructure and
yes,
forestry
yes,
projects.
Yes, so not necessarily the coast, but yeah. But
Yeah.
like the forestry would have been inland, so they would have had little batches there as well, I
Oh,
suppose.
right. So did they then move the batches to the coast when the people
Well,
bought
maybe
them?
they did. Yeah, they could have done.
Yeah.
But the batches were just small little, not far off a shed.
But
at some
now
point.
it's like that typical thing, you know, it's when you, it's so funny, isn't it? Because can you imagine, well, going back, I'm sure many of our viewers will be able to remember this, but I bet back in the 1950s when those batches were, you know, there for you to just go on holiday with, and all the Kiwi families just went on holiday,
Yeah.
and they were probably worth pennies. And now, if you were to buy a Kiwi batch on the coast, it would be millions.
It's got to be up in the
wouldn't
millions, isn't it?
Brian?
Yeah, you know, unless it's been extended, knocked down, made bigger. But, you know, like a classic Kiwi batch, because we got said we were offered to go to the Coromandel
Yeah.
to stay in someone's batch. And
Yeah.
he said, but just to be aware, if we're all there, there's 7 beds and they're all in the same room.
You didn't want to, did you, Brian? You said to me,
No, I
there's no way
just
I'm
thought,
doing that.
it's
I
like,
was up for
I'd
it.
have to
I was
get
like,
my,
I'm very adventurous, but Brian's like, no, I don't
yeah.
want to do that.
I'd have to
I'll
get
be
my clean
confused.
undies out for
I'll be
that.
confused if I go there.
Yeah. I'll have to iron me undies.
So no, people have got proper houses in New Zealand. They live in all different sorts of houses. The one
Yes.
thing I will say though, and I know this is different in Auckland and Wellington, but certainly around New Plymouth, what really shocked me when I came here from the UK is there was no like semi-detached houses. They're all on their own, aren't they?
There's the odd one, isn't there? But the majority is what you're saying. All houses are detached.
In the
Yes.
UK,
Yeah, there's terrace
I'll tell you
houses
what,
and-
to get a
yeah.
detached house in the UK, you've got to be minted. You have, haven't you,
Well, you
Brian?
do, yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
or
that's-
link detached.
That's the big thing though that everyone works towards in the UK is like, I've got a detached
Yeah,
house.
double fronted.
Yeah.
Detached house.
If you're in a semi, you're doing all right. If
Yeah.
you're in a terrace, you might as well be down the pips because
Yeah.
you're poor, aren't you, Brian?
Yeah, unless you're living in London.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, just joking. But you come
Yeah,
to
but-
New Zealand and everyone, I was just so surprised that everyone's got their own
Yeah, well,
house.
Well,
you know?
we're in Wellington this week because our daughter, she was just finishing off her season in Wicked,
Yeah.
in the show Wicked.
Big shout out to
Yeah.
this cast and crew of Wicked.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you did a great job. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But the majority of houses, they're all detached, aren't they?
Hickledy-pickledy in
But they're all over
Wellington.
the place and up on hills and
Yeah.
everything. But I mean, there might be this much of a gap in between, but they're still detached.
I know, well,
you
that's what I'm
you don't
saying,
see many.
Brian.
There are terraced houses and stuff, but not very many.
Now, is
you
that
know?
because people moved over when when the pioneers came over? They were like, "I'll tell you what, you can sod off if you think I'm having a detached."
Yeah, but that was the beauty. You had all this land
Well,
that
that's
they,
right,
in
yeah.
the cities and stuff to build. They were like
All that
classic,
space.
yeah, acre
Imagine
plots
that.
or quarter acre plots and things.
They'd come over, wouldn't you, with your neighbours, and it'd just be like, "Don't build anywhere near me. Just move. I want at least a mile between us."
That's it, yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting thing, but.
Yeah, it is.
I remember, going up to Auckland a couple of years ago and just being shocked at like seeing, new estates and
Yeah.
how close they were.
I know, and
together.
they were like townhouses, but they were in terrace rows. It was just like.
But that's
just space.
Well,
And,
yeah, what can you do,
Space
you
is
know?
getting to be more and more expensive because
Yeah.
what is it now? You were saying is it 5.5 million?
Yeah, I read
here?
somewhere there's 5.5 million living here.
Wow.
We should know
Yeah.
that figure.
Yeah, but it was 4.5 when we came 14 years ago.
So a million people have followed the YouTube and just come on over here.
That's it.
If you dream of moving to New Zealand, then you are going to love what I'm about to share with you. 12 years ago, when me and Bri emigrated to New Zealand, we were scouring the internet, trying to find any information that we could about what our life would be like when we got here. And basically all we had was YouTube. So we made this vow. We said, when we get to New Zealand, we're going to create something that we can share with others that answers those questions that you're so desperate to know about. Like, what is your life going to be like when you get here? And that's what I'm here to offer you today. We have created a 5-day free, absolutely free video guide that shows you what it's really like to live in New Zealand. This stuff is unique and it is fabulous. You are not going to find it anywhere else on the internet. And like I say, it's absolutely free. You'll be sent a video every day for 5 days and you will know what it's like in New Zealand. So head over to the website. It's www.nzahead/free. One more time, that's www.nzahead/free. You are going to love it. Right, number 5, misconception about New Zealand is that New Zealanders, I don't like this one, New Zealanders eat the kiwi bird
There you go.
and it tastes like chicken.
Yep.
Where did they get that
Kentucky
from?
Fried Kiwi Bird.
Where would you think
know.
that you would eat the kiwi
Well,
bird
because
from?
it's a bird, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it's a flightless bird. That's native to New Zealand. And there were no predators at one time in New Zealand,
No.
as in no stoats, no cats or rats and things like that that would eat eggs and things. So it hadn't had. It was so it's a what do they call it? It's a flightless bird.
A flightless bird.
Yeah.
Wingless, Bri. Oh no,
Well,
not wingless.
it's got little wings. It's got little wings, but it just
Just
it's
walks around on two
flightless.
little
Yeah.
legs.
It's got quite big feet, and they're really strong. The
And
feet,
they're big.
you know.
That's the other thing as well about a kiwi.
Yay big, aren't they? Well, you know, you see,
Yeah.
I've picked one up before, and
Yeah.
it's just, you know, what an honour to pick that up.
I know.
We picked it up from a reserve and brought it back to the Taranaki Regional Park, and let it go up on the mountain.
Yeah, you were involved in that, weren't you?
It was just great to be part of. Like,
Yeah.
You know?
But no, the kiwi bird is not eaten by the New Zealanders. Certainly not. I think you might be getting a little bit confused with maybe the kiwi fruit.
Yeah, or an
because-
ostrich.
No, because it would be quite easy to get confused with that because weirdly, the kiwi bird, the kiwi people and the kiwi fruit are all called kiwi.
Yes.
And that's very confusing.
Yes.
So maybe maybe people have heard someone say, oh, the way we eat kiwi is we, eat it with a spoon. I mean, maybe
So
they were
maybe
maybe
the
they were thinking
confusion
that
is that.
right.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
Sitting the kiwi bird down and eating it,
know.
with a spoon.
Yeah.
Knocking its beak with the
Yeah.
back of the thing to get the yolk out.
Yeah, but it's a super protected.
It is,
protected
it
breed.
is.
You've got to be so careful. You can't take dogs in national parks and things like that. Or if there is any sign of a kiwi around, the dogs have got to be on leashes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Have you ever? Oh yeah, you've seen that. I've never seen a kiwi. I've only seen a kiwi when we went to Rotorua that time. When
Yeah,
we
but
went
you
to
do-
the,
yeah, the
little
Yes.
sanctuary thing
Yeah.
that we went to. But that's the only time I've seen it. So no. Oh, and I've got a fact about the kiwi fruit as well. Hang on a minute.
Kiwi fruit?
Yeah, I had a good
Yep.
fact about the kiwi fruit. So the kiwi fruit is from China.
as everything is.
Originated from China.
Yeah, I
Bri.
know. Yeah.
Mass production.
The Chinese. What was it called?
Chinese gooseberry.
Wow.
Yeah.
A bit bigger than a gooseberry, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it does because it's fairy as well, isn't it?
And it grows better in New Zealand. So do you think they just sent it to I can't be bothered with this. It's not growing
it's not
here
growing
in
very well
China.
over here,
Just
Yeah.
transport it over.
Get it over there.
Yeah. Do you think they just did that?
Probably. Yeah.
You know what? There's a brilliant video. I don't know if I won't be able to link to it because I'm not techie enough to know how to find story things on Instagram. But there was this video of a baby eating a kiwi fruit for the first time. Remember I showed it to you?
Yeah.
And the mum holds the kiwi fruit out to the baby, and the baby's only about, 9 months old.
Yeah.
He bites into the kiwi fruit and he goes like this.
Funny. And he does it again.
It's almost like he tries it again and he does exactly the same reaction. And I just thought, when you can just so relate, because kiwi fruit, they can be like really sour,
Really tarty,
can't they?
Yeah, it's just
Do you
like
like them?
I do actually. Yeah,
Oh,
I do.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
I can't
A
decide.
lot of vitamin C in them. So
I know.
and there's fibre and everything with all the seeds and everything. So it's good. They are good for you, I would imagine.
I know, but
Or
they're
in
not.
moderation.
They're not my favourite thing. It's not something that I would think.
No.
Oh, I've got to have a kiwi fruit today.
And you wouldn't have to have one every day.
Do you
No.
peel your kiwi fruit when you? I used to eat the skin.
No, I never. See, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just No, I've been on building sites. I used to watch guys, and they've eat it like a boiled egg. They just have
Yeah.
a spoon and they just eat it
Yeah.
out. Some would just eat the whole thing.
Right, okay, so number 6, we're nearly there, we've got 2 more to go. So number 6 is that all New Zealanders, the common misconception about New Zealand is all New Zealanders are sports mad.
Yes.
Moving on,
Yeah.
number 7.
There you go. Yeah. Do they play sport here?
New Zealanders are they sports mad? I'm going to stick my neck out here because I must admit I was frightened about this when we were first moving over. Because anyone who's watched this channel will know that my knowledge of sport is zilch.
Yeah.
You're a big footy fan, but
Yes.
you don't watch rugby. So it was like, I was thinking, I was worried about the kids, because they were all into drama and music and they weren't sports kids. My kids never played sports. They did karate and
No.
they did the odd game of football. And I was thinking, oh no, are we just going to move over there and it's just going to be, they're going to be like, outed because they don't like sport? And am I going to have no friends because I don't know what rugby match is on this afternoon? And
Do you know, we were down. We always talk about going down the cafe. We went down the cafe the other
pass me that
day,
tea, please, Brian.
and it's a little bit of Earl Grey today, by the way.
Yeah, we've got Earl Grey
Yeah.
today. Brought it with us in the
bought the
flask.
teapot. Look, yeah, it's come for a trip out to the Wop Wops.
We're not provincial or anything else.
And I was just talking to a guy called Mark down there, and he just said, "Oh, National Day of Mourning," and I went, "It's a Sunday morning,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Well, why? What's up? What happened?" And he went, "Don't you know?" And I'm like,
Yeah, but you were being wicked,
"But
Brian.
I
You
didn't-
knew what had
on-
happened.
No, I didn't. On hand on heart, Liz, I did not know what had happened.
Yeah, but you
But
were.
I just said to him straight off the bat, I said, "Did the All Blacks lose?" And it's like they didn't just lose; they got annihilated by South Africa,
Yeah.
the Springboks, like
Yeah.
you know. And not only that, in the home of rugby in Twickenham as well, it just doesn't get much worse, really. It's like hit
Who's
after
home
hit
of
after hit.
Twickenham?
England.
Why? I thought you said they're
Oh,
playing
that's
in
the
South
home.
Africa.
That's the home of English
But
rugby.
you just said they lost to the Springboks.
Yeah, but it was a friendly pre-warm up for the
Oh,
World
okay,
Cup
right,
that's just
yeah.
about to happen,
Yeah.
like you know. So you know that's I've lost my thought now because you're just
You're
so
confused.
Yeah, but you've just like you know.
Sorry, go on,
Didn't
go on.
actually back me up on my story.
No,
but,
go on. No. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was
but you
just
said
confused.
yes. Well, it doesn't take much. Anyway,
What?
so that was that. Anyway, so there you go.
You didn't finish your story.
But I did. I said it's National Day of Mourning, and it's just
Yeah.
like you know, and that's when I picked up on it, like you know
Right.
that, and then you realise that the All Blacks had lost.
But you didn't continue with your story, though,
No,
did you, Brian?
I didn't need to. I was
Well,
just
do you want me
saying.
to then?
Well, you can then, yes.
Because he said, yeah, the All Blacks have lost. And you went, huh? Something like, get used to it, mate.
Yeah, now you know how
yeah,
I
that's it.
feel.
Now you know
Yeah.
how I feel. And he wasn't impressed by that comment, Bri.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal if you lose. But it is if they lose,
know,
you know,
but-
because they expect to win. And
You
it's
should have just
like,
said, oh, I'm really sorry
Yeah.
to hear about that, mate. Maybe they'll pick up
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
they'll pick up their game next time.
Yeah, it was a bit like the English women losing the World Cup. you
Yeah,
it's
I
just
know,
like,
but
oh,
so anyway, going back to the sport
another
thing.
57 years to wait.
Yes, there are lots and lots of sports people in New Zealand. They do like to talk about sport, but I want to reassure you, if you're like me and you're watching this video, you're just about you're thinking of moving to New Zealand and you've got kids and you're thinking they don't like sport. Don't worry about it, because there are lots of other things that people do in New Zealand other than sports.
No, it's true.
And I think it's a bigger deal for guys, I reckon.
Do you know what? I think what you've got to say about sports mad, it's not so much sports mad. I just think that New Zealanders, and this is true, they punch well above their weight for the size of the country. You know, for the pool of people of 5 million people, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, they do brilliant in the Olympics. They win gold medals. You know, for a small country, they do absolutely amazing. You know, rowing and rugby and all these things, you know, shot put, just amazing to watch. And
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
feel really, even being English, you feel very patriotic when you see them win those gold medals, because
Yeah.
you know how hard it is for them to be so good at what they do.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with New Zealand, I think, more than anything. Not so much sports mad, but they're very good at what they do
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
when it comes to sport.
Do you know why I reckon that is, though, Brian? I reckon because it is such a small country, you know, like with not many people, and I
Yeah.
think they've almost got you. Is it like that thing, isn't it? Like when you've got to prove something, like when you've got like really rubbish kit at school, like sports kit, and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm not going to lose just because I've got rubbish trainers. I'm going to beat you, you know, and you beat the person with like really nice
Yeah.
Adidas trainers or whatever, and you just, you know.
No, that's it. Because you know, it's like we used to have fun races with when we were you know, young and stupid and stuff and everything. You know, and I had probably the crappiest car of them all, but I would try and take on the bigger boy
Yeah.
cars, like you know, and just
Yeah.
the fact that I'll drive better. I'll cut that corner there, and
Yeah.
I'll do this, and I'll get the most out of my engine as I can, like you know.
Yeah.
It's that type of feel, isn't
It's
it? What
funny,
you're talking
isn't
about?
it?
Yeah.
It's really it's a funny thing that, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and it
Yeah.
comes the same with theatre as well. Just talking to you about, you know, my kids are into theatre. Tessa's down living in Wellington down now at the moment. Like Bryce said, she's just been in Wicked. Sonny is in the local show in New Plymouth, and also so yeah. The same thing with theatre. We've done a video on this called The Cringe Culture.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they have to step up because people are expecting them to not be good.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So
this
like,
is going to be rubbish type thing, you know.
So
yeah.
and then it ends up being better than anything you've ever seen. I was
Yeah.
talking to someone the other day. We went down to see my daughter in Wicked, and I could hear someone coming out, and I wasn't talking. I was just eavesdropping. And she was saying, I've just come back from Broadway and I've seen Wicked. Shouldn't that leaves it standing?
Yes, and
You
yes,
know?
yeah, almost fell asleep on the Broadway
Yeah.
show, and she just said, yeah,
Because if you're on Broadway, you don't have to. What that's it.
You're there.
You've got nothing to prove.
there's no, but you can't go any higher.
No,
apparently.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, isn't it? So now, yeah, I know what you're saying. That's a really good point.
And you know, you've only got to look at the America's Cup. You know, that is like the billionaires' cup. You know, of sailing, racing, sailing, and stuff like that.
Mm.
And really, you know, we shouldn't have that sort of money here, or that design, or that technology to take on the Americans, or take on the British, or take on these other countries who, you know, got way much more money than us. But we go and whoop their asses, like, you know, in New Zealand. I think it's outstanding.
Can I ask you
know?
a question, Brian?
What?
If someone said to you, like, what in the whole world
Yes.
Who is the best sports people in the whole world? What would you say? Like, if you had to say that country, like, you know, like you say, oh, French for food, Italians
Yeah.
for lovers. Like, what is the sports? You know, in what country would you say is the best sports?
Well, there's without doubt, you know, over the last sort of 50 years, it's been America.
America.
Yes, but I mean, China is catching up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Russia and America were always the big gold medal winners
Right.
in all. I'm talking about Olympics and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I mean. Just as a whole, like
as a whole,
sports.
yes, as the main sports, you know, yes, you've got to say America has got probably the best athletes out
Right,
there, you know,
yeah.
because of the facilities and this, that, and the
And
other.
that makes
but
sense. Sorry, go on.
it's not, yeah, but it's changing. It's changing.
Is it?
Well, it is. Yeah.
Why?
Because things are becoming more and more
They get
available.
knocked off their perch?
No, because science has moved on with, you know, how to, you know, you look at the All Blacks and how fit they are. You know, at one time they probably weren't as fit as another team, but then it's like, well, they worked on it. And, you know,
Yeah.
you watch the All Blacks, the last 10 minutes, they are stronger than the other team, more than, you know,
Yeah.
apart from South Africa.
Do you know what the thing with the American, that makes sense now you've told me that, because
Yeah.
I always wondered why when people talk about their kids at school, they always talk about getting a scholarship with a football thing, don't they?
Yes,
You know?
yeah. Yeah, in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
American football.
Yeah,
Yes,
and it's
yes.
all like, you know,
Yeah,
oh,
you're the running backs and quarterbacks and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and
Yes,
I always
yeah,
wondered,
yeah.
why do they constantly talk about that? What is that? So is that why? Because
It's
they're really
big-
good at sport?
But that's because it's big money. You know,
Oh, right.
it's like baseball and all those things. I mean, it's, America, I would say, all round. You know, you've got individual teams. You know, you can have Brazil, probably the best football team ever in the world at one time. Like, you know, and
Good at loads of things, Americans, aren't they, Brian?
yes, yeah, yeah. But they are.
Clever clogs.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Love you, Americans. Right, our last one. And I think this has got to be my favourite. Whereabouts is it? It's that much of my favourite, I can't find it. Right. We've got to tell you the story, first of all, because... And then it will... You know what I'm going to say, don't
I
you?
can see it now,
Yeah,
yes.
you can see
yeah,
it.
This is a bit weird.
I know. Well, yeah, weird, but people... So we had guests coming to stay with us a few years back now.
Yes.
And they'd arrived, got to the airport, we picked them up from Auckland, drove them down from America, drove them down to the house. We gave them a tour of the house, like, you know, oh, this is the kitchen, oh, this is the bedroom, this is where you're going to be staying. And you've seen our house.
You've seen the very deck we do lots of films from, is where it happens.
You've seen our house.
Yeah.
So we are under Mount Taranaki. In the back of our garden, you can see Taranaki and all the ranges. And we're quite provincial and rural, aren't we, Brian? We're a couple
yeah.
of farmers. And so there's lots of green around and bush and hills. So he opens the curtain and he goes, "Where are the natives?"
Are the natives in the hills?
Are they in the hills? Yeah. And we were at first, we were like,
I thought he
again,
was joking.
Is he joking?
I honestly thought he was joking, yeah. Yeah.
So we got talking to him and he said, I was under the impression that New Zealand had native
People in grass skirts and stuff like that. You know?
going. And not only that, he said, do they still eat people? Are they still
Yes.
cannibals?
Are they cannibals as well?
And so I think he honestly thought that we're going to open the back door, kick him out and go on, get up there. Get up there and prove your worth, American. See what a quarterback
Yeah.
you are now.
Yeah, let's see if you
Get
can run.
nails with the real people.
Run, Forrest.
So, yeah, an interesting one, that. And
Yeah.
again, I was just talking to someone not so long ago, and she said the same thing. She said, you know, so what are the natives like, you know? And but Brian, you're going like that, but...
I know, but that's what that's their perception of what
Yeah.
New Zealand is. It's not
Yeah.
like, you know, have you been here? No, then you'd know, like, you know, but if you haven't, the perception, and that's what this misconception is all
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Is, you know, are there people, when they say natives, are there like people in mud huts and, you know, as
Grass
you would,
skirts.
grass skirts and with spears and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, walking down the
Standing
street.
outside Countdown.
Yeah, that's it. Give me some food.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just like, wow.
I know.
Yeah.
But again, like I say, no judging, because 14 years ago, I had similar... No, I didn't think the cannibals and everything were running around, but I did think that people would be wearing grass skirts.
More of a Pacific Island feel.
Yeah, I
Yes,
thought it would
yeah.
be more like...
More tropical and
Yeah,
that sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm hands up. I'm not going to be like, oh, how can you think that? Because that's what you assume, like, you
Yes,
know? It's
well, you
just...
do. And I suppose if you watch things like the opening ceremony of the Olympics and people are in traditional dress, then maybe
Yeah,
you would
that's
think
right,
that's
that's right.
what it's like,
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
And it's just traditional dress. It's
Have you,
like, you know,
I'm just trying to think, have we been to a country where we went to Kenya.
Do you remember when all the
Maasai warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they would come and walk
it's
down the street
beautiful.
in all their red robes with their spears and stuff like that.
makeup.
Yeah, not for
No, but like smeared,
but,
like they had things on
but
their
they're
face.
real tall, very slender people.
Oh, beautiful.
But they were actually going past, and they were going to the casino to play the slot machines.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
They were going to battle.
No, they weren't. They were going to the casino and playing on the slot machine.
Rubbish.
Honestly, Liz, it was
Were they?
yes, because that's what the guy was telling me in the pub.
Don't shatter my illusion.
Yeah, but why else would they be coming into town?
Well, why were they walking down the street like this and everyone was like in awe and stood
Well,
back
it
from them and
was.
wouldn't go near them?
But that's because they'd come in from the village and then they'd gone in.
Where did they get their money from to do the casinos?
I don't.
On the dole.
Probably selling things that they were making, like, the benefits, the Benny.
Selling their makeup.
That's it.
On the side with cash in hand, go down the casinos.
Yeah, I've been following that antelope for 3 days now.
Oh, yeah. So going back to New Zealand, no, we don't have natives running around the hills with spears in grass skirts and, no. So
Hunting people, no.
So that was it, Bri. That was the lot.
That was our misconceptions.
I know. Can you think of anything else? I can't think of any others. We were
There's
trying
lots
in
of
the
other things. I
car.
was thinking about the batch that we were talking about, and what's another name for a batch in New Zealand?
Do you want me to tell you what another name for a batch in New Zealand is?
What
Bri?
is it, Liz?
It's a crib, Bri.
Yeah, and whereabouts is it called that from?
South Island.
And whereabouts in the South Island, Liz?
Don't know, Bri. Don't know.
It's the Waitaki River.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Why
So
then?
it's south of
Why is
the-
it called a crib?
I don't know, just because it's more. Well, the Cornish crib was that was your. But a crib is like a
baby's
bed.
crib, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like all
So
of a
tell us,
bed.
why is it called a crib?
Yeah, because we know that from the Waitaki River, which comes out at Oamaru and not Dunedin. I can't remember the name of the other town. Anyway, the river is there. From the south of that river, they're called a crib.
Right.
So
Yeah,
maybe it's a Scottish thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds like
yeah.
a Scottish type thing. Because the Cornish crib was the smoko in the mornings at 10 o'clock, and you had crib.
So we hope that has unearthed some of those misconceptions for you. And like I say, it's one of those things that unless you've been to New Zealand and you've done lots of research on it, which if you weren't going to move here, why would you?
No,
It's not
that's
something
it.
like there's. What did I say to you the other day? I said, whereabouts is that country? I couldn't. You said, you named a country.
Oh,
and I could-
Tahiti.
No, it wasn't Tahiti. I know where Tahiti is. No, there was another country that I can't remember where it was. Anyway, but
Puerto
Brian,
Rico?
No, you and Sonny were talking about it, and Brian named a country, and I was like, "Where's that?" And Sonny looked at me, and he's like, "You don't even know where that is."
Yeah, that's right.
And do you remember? I can't
Yes.
remember what
Yeah,
the country was. And
yeah.
again, if you're not of, if it doesn't come up in your life, or you wouldn't look into it, would you?
No.
Another really interesting fact as well before we go, where it said something about if New Zealand was a city. No,
Auckland.
if Auckland was a city
In the USA.
in the USA, staying on the USA theme because we love you so much, and we do,
We do.
it would be the 6th most populated city in the USA.
Yes.
Why are you smiling like that?
Because you wouldn't think that, would you?
Oh, I thought you were trying to take the mickey out of me.
Oh, no.
I looked
no,
over
no,
and you were beaming.
No, because I was just smiling at the Americans. God bless America.
I know, I think they've taken a bit of a bad
No,
rap.
they
It's a good
do.
job you've got a good sense of
Yeah.
humour. Far better than Canadians, I tell you
The
that.
Aussies normally get a hit, or the English get said something about them because
Yeah.
that's why we left.
Yeah, but the
you know,
6th
but
most populated state, Bri.
it's most populated city.
Most
would be
populated city.
if Auckland was in the USA, with the amount of people that live in Auckland, it would be the most populated.
And when I
city,
told
number
Bri
6.
that, he went, no, that's rubbish. And I said, no, Bri, it's a fact. I've
No,
seen it on the
I
internet.
would imagine so because I was thinking, well, New York is huge, and LA is huge, San Francisco is huge. It's just like.
Do you think it really is the 6th most? I don't know if that's true.
I would imagine, but then you've got Chicago, which is big,
know,
and then you've
Dallas.
got Dallas. Well, but they might be quite small,
Yeah.
because they're they're sort of desert towns, aren't they? Like
Yeah.
Dallas is in the middle of the Texas desert,
See, isn't it funny? Now, I'll just so it makes you feel better. If you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, well, I thought that. Oh no, now I feel a bit of an idiot, and she's made me feel like that. But just to make you feel better, if someone said to me, "Okay, Liz, Dallas, describe Dallas,"
Yeah.
I would just say, like,
Da, 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 da,
I would say
da.
it's got those, you know, those wind things.
Bobby driving along in his red Mercedes.
You know,
JR
I'm
going to the
thinking-
oil baron's ball.
yeah. If someone
Yeah.
says to me, Dallas, I'm thinking lots of oil barons,
Yeah.
lots of oil fields.
Well,
I'm
I
just-
imagine there would be.
yeah, but
Plenty
those
nodding
things,
donkeys.
those things that go round in the wind, you know, like they're always on the horror films, the American
The
horror
wind
films.
pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that spins and it'll bring the water up and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
From the well.
And I'm sure Dallas isn't like that, but that is my conception. You know, that's
Yeah,
how I
your
perceive Dallas
perception
to
of
be.
it. Yeah,
to
yeah.
be perception of
Yeah,
it.
but it's like Las Vegas, isn't it? You know, I mean, that's just a tourist town. There's nothing there other than casinos and stuff, but it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, but you know what?
You
Las
know?
Vegas was everything I thought it was going to be.
Yes, it was.
Las
It was
Vegas
exactly like
is
it was.
just
Yeah.
exactly how you
Yeah.
imagine it to be.
I didn't
Anyway,
think
we're getting off topic now, but
Yeah.
so we really, really hope that you enjoyed the common misconceptions about New Zealand. And next time you see us, we're not going to give it away, but we're going to be in a different part of the country, aren't we, Brian?
Yes,
We're going away on our holidays.
We're going away on holidays.
Yeah,
Yep.
house sitting.
House sitting
So-
for 5 weeks.
Yeah, so we're going to be bringing you a video from a different part of the country.
Yeah.
But you'll have to tune in to find out where that is.
I'll give a little thing away. It is on the East Coast.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us an excuse to get in the car and come down here to Tarata Domain and
Yeah.
just sit in this beautiful sunshine and chat to you about New Zealand. Our favourite thing to do in the world is just talk your ear
Yeah,
off,
and
basically.
let us know if you want us to do a few more ones on location.
Yes, that's a good
Yeah, we
idea.
were going to do actually. I did originally have this one as if anyone can recognise this river and this place where we are, then let us know.
Oh, yeah,
you know, and then it's
yeah.
just like not that you're going to win anything because we obviously
We haven't got
haven't-
anything to give you.
nothing to give you away.
Yeah.
But we could get an It's a Drama T-shirt made up or something like that. But really, who would wear it?
Well, we would, Brian. Don't be silly.
All right.
Of course we would. You in your confused state, just how it's a drama. I'm confused.
With a bag.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next week, I will speak to you soon.
So kia kaha, stay strong, kiu, stay true, and that's true to yourself. And we'll see you from somewhere else next time.
Yeah. Bye,
See you
lovely
now.
people.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast this week. We have loved having you here with us.
If you love this week's show, please share this with your friends. Send it to anybody you know that wants to think about moving to New Zealand and get on over here yourself.
And tell them how brilliant it is as well. And also, if you haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide showing you what life is like, really like, in New Zealand, then go over to the website and sign up. You are missing out. This is brilliant. Go over to www.nzahead/free and we will send you 5 days worth of videos about what life is like in New Zealand. You are going to love it. So one more time, that website that you need to sign up for the free 5-day guide is www.nzahead/free. So we're going to see you next week. Until then, have a great week and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye again. Bye.
Bye.